Hi everyone and welcome back to another Lessons with Lydia, this time concentrating on ballet flats. So I was actually inspired to do this because one of my subscribers commented the other day about ballet flats and where to start and how to style them. As we're going into the new season, I'm personally starting to think about my new season wardrobe, transitioning into a slightly warmer climate where we can wear things like ballet flats, we don't have to wear boots all the time. And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to and starting to plan. I always think it's good to plan your wardrobe a little bit in advance so that you don't feel overwhelmed. It gives you time to think about it. It gives you time to maybe collate some pieces together so you've got a strong wardrobe going into the new season. So today's episode is all about do's and don'ts of ballet flats. And then at the end, I'm going to show you some outfit ideas and inspiration using ballet flats. So I think there are a few kind of fundamental rules or things I maybe would and wouldn't do when it comes to styling ballet flats. So let's get into the first one. So let's talk about ballet flats and skirts, and I think this is something that can be a little bit tricky. I personally would totally avoid a maybe mid-length, calf-length skirt, especially something that's a little bit A-lined or that kind of shape, something pleated. I just feel like it feels quite a dated way to wear ballet flats. And I think the thing with ballet flats is that yes, they're on trend at the moment, but they're also quite a classic, timeless piece. So I think it's important to be careful with styling so that it still feels fresh and modern and feels like you're kind of doing the trend this time around rather than just kind of pulled them out of your wardrobe and thrown them together with anything you have. So I think it's really important to be careful about those pairings. So I would avoid that kind of skirt just because I think it feels a little bit dated, like I say. I think it's not so flattering either on the leg. Those kind of skirts can cut you off anyway at the leg and can break up your leg a little bit. But I think with the very flat shoe, as well as that, we've got quite a squashed down almost look. I think with this kind of skirt, you either need something, I would pair it with like a long boot or maybe even like a pointed toe style of kitten heel or mule or something that really drags the eye down a little bit and makes more of a continuous line. I think the ballet flat just kind of squashes the look a bit. So I would avoid that. Instead, what I would do is go for a much longer kind of skirt. I think it feels really fresh and modern to pair your ballet flats with a long flowing satin midi. It doesn't have to be satin or silk. It can be maybe more of a cotton maxi skirt. They're very in at the moment, but still have that timeless classic feel about them. I just feel like that's a lot fresher if you want to do a long skirt or dress. Go for that much longer length, something I would say around ankle length or maybe just above, but definitely not that like knee length, mid-calf length. I would go for something slightly longer than that just to kind of give it that flowing effect, and like I say, just also feels a little bit more modern. I've gotten here this one from Weekend and Beyond in white. Black would also look great and kind of maybe tone it down a little bit, and then paired it with a simple slouchy knit. I think it's all about keeping the rest of your outfit feeling quite modern and minimal. I think that's a really easy way to do the ballet flat, to just again avoid that kind of slightly dated feel. So let's talk about trouser length. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing at all. And I think it's something you can do, but I'd say if you really want to show the ballet flat off and make it kind of one of the focal points of your outfit, I would avoid pairing with a kind of long, wide leg trouser that covers the shoe so that you can just kind of see the toe cap or just the end, because I don't think you really get the full effect of what a ballet flat is doing in that sense, especially if you've got like a dark pair like I'm showing here. It can kind of look a bit, it can kind of cut your leg off a bit. I think hopefully you'll be able to see this in the cutaway, but you've just got the dark flash and you can't really see the rest of the shoe, so it can feel a little bit cut off. So I wouldn't say this is like an absolute no-go, and I am wearing some slightly wider trousers later in the video, but I would just say if you really want to make the most of your ballet flats, I would go for something slightly shorter than the really wide hem. So instead what I've done is paired this outfit with a slightly slimmer fitting cropped length. I don't think it needs to be cropped. It can still be kind of floor length to show the shoe off, but I think the cropped really does this shoe justice. These are the Leone flats from Loeffler Randall. I paid some duties and import fees on this, but not that much. It was more like, I think it came with the shipping amount at the end, so I didn't get kind of a surprise. But if you want to order them from the UK, just be aware that you will have an extra, like a bigger shipping cost. I think they've actually gone up in price, and I also managed to get a discount on mine originally, so they were a lot cheaper than they are now, but they are a really good shoe. I'm very, very comfortable, and I think they're gonna go with so much. I feel like when I was styling all of these outfits, those are the ones that I was kind of gravitating towards the most out of them all. And I think wearing that crop trouser, if you have got a shoe with a bit more detail like the strap, just really shows that shoe off and really kind of makes it that center point of quite a minimal outfit, but the shoes just kind of, I don't know, I just think they give it that slight trend feel or modern feel, fresh feel, without being kind of too over the top of a trend and something you can wear for years and years to come. So I would definitely recommend more of a slightly crop style or something that maybe shows the shoe off a little bit better when it comes to trouser lengths. So this is my last one really, and I think there's no real major restrictions on the ballet flats because they are so classic and timeless. I do think you can kind of get away with them with everything, but just as a kind of starting point, I think this video might be quite helpful. If you've really no idea what you want to pair your ballet flats with, I would avoid pairing them with anything too feminine or dainty or pretty like the dress I've got on here. I usually like to add that contrast between the masculine and the feminine within my outfit, or something a little bit prettier or something a little bit tougher. And those two kind of contrasts I think work nicely in an outfit. Whereas if we've got all this kind of the pretty daintier ballet flats with the cute dress, it just feels all too much one style, whereas I like to mix. I just think it gives things an edge and just something a little bit different. So I'd avoid going for that all kind of pretty feminine kind of look together. Obviously, this is not a terrible look, and I definitely think you can do it. I've done it in the past, but if you're really not sure on where to start, I would instead avoid that and go for something a little bit tougher to contrast your delicate flats. So I've gone for my faux leather trousers from my collection with Naked, and then I've paired it with a boxy blazer on top, just to again add a bit of structure to the look. And the leather fabric just feels a little bit tougher against the softer, delicate ballet flats. So you can do the same. It doesn't have to be leather. You could do the same with denim. I think that works in the same kind of way. Or just darker colors, or like I've done here with the blazer with something a little bit more structured. I think that works too. So those I would say are my fundamental do's and don'ts as a bit of a starting block. But as I say, I think there's so many ways you can wear ballet flats. They're so useful and multifunctional. They work really nicely for workwear and then right through to very casual outfits. So I'm just gonna now jump into a few different ideas of how to style them, why they kind of work, and this will hopefully give you some outfit inspiration for styling yours. So for the first look, I've kept the PU trousers on and then instead contrasted that slightly tougher leather, as we were talking about, with this very classic jacket from Marseille, London. These are huge at the moment, and I love how all these really classic styles, like things like ballet flats, like these boxy kind of Chanel style jackets, have all come back to be almost a trend at the minute, but they're so timeless. I just love that. I really think that's the way fashion is going at the minute. We're going to see those spotlights on more traditional classic items, and then we can just rotate those and keep them in our wardrobes forever. But I've just gone for this jacket because I think it, like I say, it contrasts nicely with the trousers, just elevates it a bit, and then put the black flats on with it just to tie in with the trousers. I think this works again, like I was saying, that contrast between the masculine and feminine, and it's also a bit of a masculine feminine sandwich, if you will. We've got the kind of more feminine on top and the bottom, and then the slightly more masculine leather in the middle. And I really like that contrast all together. So my next, I wanted to do a bit of a workwear look. We've got a slightly wider trouser on here, but unlike the first ones I showed you, these are slightly more kind of ankle skimming or kind of foot skimming style of wide leg trousers. So this just shows that you can do that, but I would make sure they're slightly shorter, like the grey ones I'm wearing here. And I've just got it on with this knit from Aunt, an all nice chic grey look. And then the ballet flats just feels very put together, very office appropriate. And the beauty of ballet flats is that you can walk around in them all day. So I've not done this yet, but ballet flats pair really nicely with a pair of jeans, especially a straight, slightly cropped pair of denim, or like a kind of floor length denim that again isn't too wide around the bottom, but just something that kind of falls to your foot. I think they look so chic with that. Or some denim like I'm wearing here, slightly cropped. These are white. I think this is a really nice transitional look. You've still got the denim, bit of heavier fabric and the wool jumper, but it just feels a little bit lighter, and the shoes make it feel a little bit lighter and less wintry. So I just don't think you can beat the ballet flat with a pair of very simple black cigarette trousers. I mean, it's just Audrey Hepburn all over, isn't it? It's that classic 1950s look of the straight trouser and the very simple ballet flat. It just works so well and always will do. So that's another thing I think is really worth investing in, a good quality pair of black trousers. Something like a straight cigarette leg you can't go wrong with. These are from Philippa K and they are 100% worth it. Quality is so beautiful, the fit is great. I would personally size down, especially if you're a bit in between. I usually go for a 36, but mine are 34. I'll try and link them below, but they just pair so nicely with the flats. And then just for a bit of a modern twist, I've got this bomber jacket on over the top to finish it off. And this again will make a really nice transitional look, keeping it classic, keeping it simple. I think that's what it's all about with the ballet flats. It's not overcomplicating the outfit, it's keeping it crisp, simple, minimal, and I think that complements the flats really nicely. So for my next look, I wanted to show another one with the base layer of the black t-shirt, black trousers underneath, and a bit more of a kind of elevated workwear look. So I've got the Arquette flats on this time. I don't think these are available anymore, but I'll link all my favorite flats below. I'll try and find some good alternatives. But I think this with the blazer just looks, again, really simple, easy to put together. These are such easy outfit formulas, but they just feel chic, and this one would be a really nice workwear look. I've got my blazer on from my collection with Naked. It's actually back in stock in I think most sizes, but there aren't many left of them, so you need to get there quick if you are interested. But it's such a classic blazer to kind of throw on with your simple basics, and it's just, like I say, a nice easy workwear look. And finally, my last look, if you do have black ballet flats and want to wear something lighter with it, I think it's nice to add a bit of color balance into your outfit. So you could go for something like a black t-shirt, a black belt, black bag on top, just to bring some of the black from the ballet flats. Again, we've got a wider trouser here, but it's not that completely all-encompassing wide leg with lots of fabric at the bottom. It just kind of falls a little bit more foot length, so you can see the shoe just that little bit more. I think that tiny bit of fabric difference makes the outfit completely different, if that makes sense. And then I finished off with this jacket from Marcella London. But this is just a nice, easy, very chic look, using only 3 colors, those most classic colors, beige, black, white, all together, again, with that very sleek, minimal style with the flats, I think just works so well. So I hope this has been useful for you. If you are kind of looking to either bring out an older pair of ballet flats that you've not worn for years, or maybe invest in a pair this year because you know they're a timeless piece, hopefully this has given you that leverage and that starting point as to where to style them and how to actually apply these tips into your own wardrobe with your own pieces. So thank you so much. If it's been useful, let me know. If you want to see another kind of do's and don'ts, let me know what on. I will be happy to cover that. Thank you so much again. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get to 700,000 subscribers very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.